Love and light friends. Let's talk about my experience with uropathy. I'm gonna make this kind of short because I've already talked a lot about it in my other videos. But basically, what it is distilled water is a detoxifier, and it pulls inorganic minerals, of which you probably have an oversupply in your body because you're told to take supplements and take vitamins and put these inorganic minerals in your body, but see, your body can't convert them to organic minerals. There's an alchemical process that's got to be done by nature first, and that is where the plants and the trees come in. So your vital connection to plants and trees for organic minerals that your body can use, you're vitally connected. So you see how just right there. So when I found out about uropathy, I dove headlong. I started going pretty much 90% recycling. And after about a week of this, I got a hold of some distilled water from the store, and I started drinking that, and I got really sick. And I knew exactly what was happening when I got sick. I knew what was going on, what had happened. And what had happened is because I was already recycling the living distilled water for about a week. And believe me, your appetite drops off while you're doing this. A lot of people just fast and do nothing but the living water for 30 days, which you can do, but what I think my mistake was that in the middle of doing all that, I threw a bunch of distilled water into the mix, which acts as a magnet and pulls the inorganic minerals out of your system. And so my body just became flooded with basically toxins, and too much too fast. And so that I got quite sick for about 8 hours. So I guess my advice to anybody that's just starting this would be, you can go 100% with your own living water, and I don't think you have too many worries, because the difference between distilled water from the store and your own living distilled water is that your living distilled water is packed full of things that your body wants and can use. Distilled water from the store is like a blank magnet, and it's going to go in there and just start pulling toxins from everywhere they're at. And so you can get detox symptoms, which is what happened to me. So all I did to remedy that was I backed off of straight distilled water and just stayed at about 90% of the living water, living distilled water. And I've had no problems since then. I do get slight little headaches every now and then, and I do add in a little bit of distilled water from the store into my mix here and there. And so I have had some low-level headaches, and I think that's, again, it's the same thing. It's just the beginning of detox symptoms. And if the pineal gland has been calcified, which I'm pretty sure mine was or is and is in the process of being unlocked, and you feel this when you start doing this, you really notice it, because you notice when your appetite suddenly is not there no more. You notice when you're not craving certain things anymore. And you have a level of clarity that comes over you that is hard to put into words and hard to explain. It's a subtle clarity, but at times it's quite intense. But not intense like, I don't know, like a drug would do, where you just almost feel like, you know, with a drug sometimes maybe you feel like you're losing control, or you can't control it, or it's, you know, you get a little bit frightened by it. This is not really frightening when it gets intense. This is actually blissful when it gets intense, and it's blissful when it's subtle. And so, you know, I've slowly been cutting meat out of the diet for the past, I don't know, year or so, and I'm down to virtually no meat. I'm down to about 1 meal a day, and believe me, if I was overweight, I would be losing weight, but I'm not overweight. I'm in quite good shape. So, you know, the appetite drops off, and your state of consciousness is going to, of course, profoundly affect everything, especially something like this. And so, you just, when you start tapping into all this, you just want more and more and more, in a good way, because you realize it's recalibrating your system. It's, you know, who doesn't want to uncalcify their pineal gland if it's been calcified? And so you slowly begin to brighten. It's like your light has been dimmed by the matrix. And when you make a conscious effort and decision to exit the matrix, and you begin doing practices, as I talk about in other videos, you begin to practice. You begin to really apply this to your life. Then you just want more and more, because you realize, you know, it's doing nothing but helping you. It's propelling you into higher states, higher and higher states. And your clarity becomes more and more. And it's quite wonderful, quite profound. And you begin to see that you're not trapped here. You're not a victim here. And if you understand the whole that this is a shoot, what's the word? Simulation. When you really understand this whole simulation aspect of this, you realize no matter how bad it seems, or how bad it got, or how bad it potentially could get, or whatever, it's just the simulation. In actuality, the actual factual, nothing has been done that's not, if you will, reversible. And I go into that a little bit more in my other video. This is just, I'm just touching base to kind of give you my experience with urotherapy, how it's been going. So I've been doing this now for probably into my third, maybe fourth week. I'm probably moving into my fourth week of doing it now. Like I said, 90%. I just dove straight in. Once it resonated with me, that's the way I am. When I find truth, I apply it. And I go, you know, hardcore with it. So I've been, you know, 90%. And it's, like I said, you will notice. You will almost immediately begin to notice. And if you're already a clean eater and you've already got a clean diet, then you don't have to overcome the whole terrible smell, terrible taste thing, because it really doesn't, it's not terrible. It's only terrible, again, if you've polluted your own river of living water. So if you're drinking from a pure river, then you don't have to worry about pollution and all that crap. And so your river of living water is based entirely upon you, because you're the one that's co-creating it. So if you've never done it, I highly recommend it. I highly, at least try it. And if you can't handle chugging at a 90% level, start out with some distilled water from the store, maybe 2 cups a day, and some drops of your living water under your tongue, and begin there, and then let your intuition take you to wherever you are going to go next. And that's it, my friends. That's one of the tools in the toolbox, and it's one of the big bad boys that's been hidden way down at the bottom of the toolbox, and with a note on it that says, you probably won't need this. And I'm here to tell you, you probably do. You definitely do. And the more understanding you get about it, the more you will realize, holy cow, I can't believe I haven't been doing this. I can't believe I've never heard this. I can't believe I don't know this. And it's intentional that you don't. They've suppressed this so that you don't, because it's free. Always comes down to that nasty ass fiat fucking currency, doesn't it? Nasty, dirty, filthy crap that men will do to each other for that filth, instead of just telling you the simple truth. Everything comes from within, and everything within you is free. Them there's the facts. Love and light. Until next time. Peace, wholeness, and balance. Spin it again, man. It's good stuff. Later.